Hello, 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 and welcome to the space between ideas. I'm Blank Gates. It's 10 o'clock in Tbilisi. It's 10 o'clock in Tbilisi. Let's get started. What do we got on my desktop today? I'm going to just share the whole screen to start out with because you know how it is, like you get excited about something new and then it's like, wow, amazing, fun, so interesting. And then what's next? Then what's next is just a couple days later, you kind of, you start to get like, what's going on? Now, I had some problems with my windsurf prompt. All right, so can you compare the current version of the Windsurf master prompt with the text produced by Windsurf to replace? So we got the current version. Now, I plugged in the current version. It didn't work. So here's the current version. And just plugging it into Architect. And then I asked Windsurf, I'm like, hey, why don't you give me some advice? If you have an idea for how we're supposed to do this, then go ahead and tell me. No, we don't need this. Okay, maybe we'll just leave it in there for now. Just see what Architect has to say about this. Now, if you're seeing my channel for the first time, probably you're like, what the heck is going on? Like, what are you talking about? The name of your video is called Why You Must Calibrate ChatGPT and Gemini. And also, what's going on my screen? I got three things I'm going to want to talk about today. Now, what does it mean to calibrate your GPTs? No, not as direct, safer replacement. Her AI executive Francis Goldman. It's a new version of replacement. It's a valuable complementary document. Now, you could actually say that this is a calibration document. So it seems like now we have two kinds of calibration. There's actually three kinds of calibration documents that I'm now working with. The first kind of calibration document, All right, I'm just going to copy and paste this. Now I realize why we need Markdown format. Because this, like, I can't copy and paste all this. It's like, for example, like the bash, this thing here, and then this thing here. It's like, it's not a Markdown file. Uh-oh. There we go. So that's what we want to do. Is there we go. There we go. There we go. Why does it say 8 and then it cuts off? Okay. Yes, your revised master prompt is excellent and will work effectively. It's actually better than the one I provided earlier because it has more structure, detail, includes more important safety constraints. This is why it's effective, clear prerequisites. Okay, so I call this one a master prompt. What I mean is when I start my windsurf or when I start my cursor window, what I do is I have this file right here, this windsurf file and this cursor file. And what I need to do is basically I just plug it in. So for this case, we're going to select all, then we're going to paste it. Okay, so this is the new file. So this is called calibrating, but the thing is that what we're calibrating in this case is we're calibrating our windsurf. So it's not actually technically a calibration document. A closer idea to what I mean when I say calibration is if you go into the cursor settings, you can go into this section called rules. Now I put in some rules here. The rules, that is a true calibration document because the rules, it's basically what's going to get your cursor environment to run the way you want it to run. But then at the same time, as you can see, I also ran this hi cursor. I've just restarted my computer and have manually ensured Docker desktop is running. Please get my full development environment for the Guidance MP project located here. Please perform the following steps sequentially and report on each. And then it goes through all the steps. Docker is available and running. Supabase is available. Local Supabase stack is fully running. Enable confirmation is correctly set up. Next.js front end is running. All services are properly configured. So the word configured, that's similar to the word calibrate. And then what happens is, boom, this is what it looks like. So currently this is what my app looks like. Now, we're not quite at the stage where I know how to navigate between pages. Because, I mean, I've been creating pages. I just don't know how to get into those pages. I have no idea where they are. All right, now so that's the cursor. And then windsurf, we jump into windsurf, same thing. Now, I don't need this here. Now, cursor is also happy. We did everything we need. Clip prerequisite structure steps. safety constraints, detailed verification, error handling, comprehensive reporting. Note, add a note about so what we're going to do is consider windsurf feedback, and if you want to make a change, then print out the new in full. I would say that working with AI, it's like it's the same thing as working with code. So like at the end of the day, what we're trying to do, we're trying to create like a website or an application. Maybe this is a good place to start. So I feel like two ideas, two ways to I feel like architects getting dumb. And whenever something gets dumb, like when it starts forgetting things or it's just not doing the thing it's supposed to be doing, and I have to remind it multiple times. In this case, I feel like it's getting dumb. All right, so I'm gonna create a setup environment guide inside of the thing. I'm gonna update this one. No, I also did some work. All right, so we calibrated cursor by number one, creating some rules. Number two, creating I call it a master prompt. So now cursor is up, it's ready to start working. Windsurf, it doesn't have rules, but as you can see, it's editing the setup environment guide, which is also a type of calibration. And then the third type of calibration is here. So here we are in the this document, and I don't know. I kind of feel like maybe it's possible that the context window is too long. Maybe we've just had too many chats, and now it's starting to forget the stuff at the beginning. Cursor. Pop this into cursor. So this is my project. I've been working on my project for quite a while, and right now we're doing sprints. It's updated. should check that first. And in the sprint, everything's controlled completely by Gemini, actually. I prepared Gemini with some calibration documents. After it gets the calibration documents, it knows the project that we're doing. And then it starts to create these prompts. And once it has those prompts, then it just kind of just works. And I basically just monitor it. Now, let's look down the road 6 months. 6 months down the road, lots of people have been doing this kind of work. It has a better understanding of basic processes that it does over and over again. And everything just works. And then what? At some point, well, the thing is that, why is it that I'm using Gemini in order to work with this project? And why is it that I have two windows? One I call Architect, Sprint 3 Architect, and one is called Sprint 3 Liaison. So it's because, so these are the first project calibrate. Is this arrowhead? Yeah. So I got 4 project calibration documents. I upload them one by one. And then we got like a tech stack and brand calibration. So it knows what we're using for tech stack and also for brand guidelines. Then we got the sprint calibration. So it's like, what are we working on? You can see the sprint process definition. Got the AI collaboration roles and responsibilities. Then we got the liaison AI workflow lessons, architect lessons. So those are lessons that they learned from sprint 1 and sprint 2. Then we got our master prompts to get our software environments up to date. Then you can see sometimes what I'll do is I'll upload the sprint 1 review, and then I'll upload the sprint 2 review. And then now we got sprint 3. Now, in addition, if I have these two windows, if I have an architect and liaison, if you upload all of the exact same documents for all of these, then eventually you're going to realize that they're not sure who, like, am I liaison or am I architect? They have like all the same documentation. And finally, sometimes if, like, for example, right now, I'm considering like killing my current architect because it was making mistakes. As soon as it starts making mistakes, I feel like maybe I should just replace it. Anyways, so cursor, we can put in the reply from cursor. Windsurf. Like, what is it that I really need? I need a way to oops, just this copy and paste issue. Like one tap, copy and paste. And the issue is that the way that this is currently handled, the copy and paste, it's not opening the, here we are. It's like literally all of my time is just me copying and pasting this. All right, so that's this project. It's yeah. So if if I have to kill it like midway through a sprint, then I'll update this current step calibration document, and it'll explain how far along we are in the sprint. Current step calibration, it just means that we don't have a sprint review. So it's the current sprint review. Okay, what's the next thing I wanted to talk about? Now, another thing we've been talking about is this challenge from Y Combinator. Let's just reset this and see what happens. So, I listened to part of the video again, and they mentioned some kind of podcast, and the guy wrote a blog post on his website, and inside of the post, you could test out his prompts. Now, I don't know. I was thinking about like, what would this project look like? An AI first blog. What happened is I was able to all right, so we got this thing called pre-calibration. Pre-calibration is like based on my project. The project I'm working on, the app that I'm working on is this idea here, where I think that a manager, when they begin managing people and projects, there's basically 5 modules that a manager needs to understand how to run. And those modules are going to get you to the point where you can start using ClickUp or Monday.com, which is basically a scoreboard. The scoreboard is the list of tasks. I mean, technically, it's not the scoreboard. The scoreboard is the result. This is actually running plays. So in a sports game, what you're going to be doing is you're going to be running plays. You got the status of the play. You got the person running the play. And then you got when in the game are you going to be running the play. So if we're playing football, all right, so we're going to play this play, and then we're going to play this other play. These are the persons who are involved with the play. Okay, so are we ready to run the play? All right, break. And then you line up I played football in high school. I was the quarterback. And the thing is, like, I have a really weird memory. And somehow, for some reason, I thought it was impossibly difficult to remember plays. But then somehow, when we got into the game, I would just somehow just remember it. I couldn't figure out how am I even remembering any of this. And then the coach would be doing his hand signals and stuff, and I'd be like, "What is it?" He's moving his hands around, and then I'd be like, "Oh, okay, I know what that is." And then we'd be like, "All right, let's run this play." So we'd run the plays, which involved some people. Now the question is, there's only 2 questions in football. Question number 1: how many yards did you get? And question number 2: did those yards add up to a touchdown? And then the question for the defense is, were we able to reduce the number of yards each time they tried to advance, to the point that they had to kick the ball to us or they lost possession because we were able to stop them? That's war. Like, the whole concept behind war, it's called the line of scrimmage. Where is the battle line? And then, so the question is the other team getting yards on you until eventually they take over your government, they score a touchdown? Or did their defense stop you and push you back until you decided that you had to give up possession? Or did they force you to give up possession? Hello, Gordon D. Gordon. Right? So it's actually points. We're talking about like when you actually accomplish your tasks, there's going to be some points at the end of that. Now, accomplishing tasks, these are the plays you're going to run. And the plays you're going to run is hopefully going to be getting you to the results that you want. Those results, when you complete your objectives, hopefully it's helping you to accomplish the vision of the project. And when you accomplish the vision of the project, then it's advancing the vision of the entire company. So there's a bunch of questions in each of these modules, and they help you to decide on which plays you should run. And that's it. Like, that's business, is deciding which plays you should run. Right now, inside of this endeavor to create this AI first blog, I put in these pre-calibration tools because I want the AI instance, right? This window. I want this window. So this one is the AFB architect, and this one is the. Sorry, I should probably rename this. I just uploaded. So I uploaded a new set of documents yesterday to recalibrate this tool. So we're going to rename it. How do I rename this thing? To AFB liaison. So I got a brand new liaison. And the last thing I said to liaison from the architect, so like, all right, check this out. So it says, okay, I understand your plan. You'll be creating a new liaison AI instance tomorrow. You want a prompt from me based on up-to-date knowledge of all documents, including latest insights and newly drafted. Number 9, to kick off that session effectively based on liaison feedback you provide tomorrow. All right, so here it is. Good morning. It's Tuesday. We're continuing with Project 1, conceptual sprint 0. Vision finalized, the feasibility deep dive of the AI first blog platform. Our overall strategy is user PM centric, focusing on developing the platform as a personalized growth engine. Yesterday we did this. Our goal for today is to do this. So I just uploaded that over to liaison, and then where are we now? Okay, user PM. I'm ready to dive into the Project 1, conceptualize sprint 0. See, you can see it's referencing all these documents. And that's the whole point of calibration, is that, so this is the engine of the thinking behind what we're doing. And then this is the engine, what the project is all about. And then number 9 is like, where are we right now? It's the living document. So it's the same thing as that other one. It's like, where are we right now? Because we're not running sprints yet. We just need something which discusses like, where are we right now in this project? So it references all these documents. What is this? Could you please provide the content of this? You don't have that? I'm pretty sure you do. 8. You don't have it. Oops. Must be here. Yeah, exactly. All right, so once number 9. Once I process that, I'll be fully equipped to facilitate today's thing. Deep dive and conclude the brainstorming. We're talking about the 2-pane contextual chat block. Now, that's the other window I got open. So the thing is that, like, there is this idea of like a 2-pane contextual chat block. I was working on this last night. So I started to do some French. I was studying my French last night. I've been doing a 90-day challenge, and I got to be honest, like recently I've just been like, I don't want to do this. I haven't been really studying. I haven't been watching the videos. Like, there's like a website here where I'm listening in Chinese because I spent 10 years in China, and I also spent a lot of 10 years studying Chinese. I'm really used to the thinking of Chinese people when it comes to learning a language. See, and when I was looking for documents in order to learn the French language, I started bumping into like French people, and they were all speaking English. I couldn't really understand what they were saying in English. I didn't like their process. I didn't want to listen to French people speaking English. I don't know. I always get like emotional and that kind of. I don't know. I just feel weird about it. Anyways, so I got this one lady that I talked to. I've been talking to her for a couple of years, helping her understand like thinking tools and thinking methodologies. And after a couple of years of talking to her, suddenly she told me, I mean, a couple of times she's like, "Hey, can you help me like figure out some of this stuff, like with preparing for some exams to be able to like to go to university in Canada?" So I was like, "All right, sure, we could do that." So she ends up doing pretty good on her exams, and then she ends up getting accepted into UBC to do an MBA, and she got like this big scholarship. So I thought that was freaking crazy. So her scholarship is like 10, 20 times more than she ever paid me for the last 2 years. So I think she's really happy that she's been talking to me for the last couple of years, working through all these thinking tools and working through all this preparation, and then eventually getting into the university and then getting a scholarship. So she's like super happy. And she looked at immigration and she saw that there was something about like if you speak French, it's like easier to immigrate to Canada. So I was like, well, then let's learn French. And then she found this Claire 法语了解一下. So I already watched all of the A1 Shang videos, and now we're on the A1 Xia videos. There's like basically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 videos left. We're 2 weeks left on the challenge, my French. So this is in Chinese. Like I'm listening to the lady speaking Chinese. 在3月份, en mars, en printemps, 在春天. So I speak Chinese. I have an undergraduate degree in Chinese law. That was all taught in Chinese. What do you want, Gordon? So I'm just listening to her speak Chinese. I understand it perfectly, and then she's teaching French. So after I started doing my exercises for a while using AI, then I was like, wait a minute. What we're trying to do with this project is we're trying to actually create an environment which can help. All right, so can you start up Canvas with our code? Can I actually do this? This is the question. This is the first time I'm trying this. So it did actually start up the canvas. Whoa, it did it. Nice. So the idea behind this AI first blog is that I want to create it based on like what I would use it for, because I don't know how other people are going to use it. And if it's not useful for me, if I don't actually use it, then what's the point in trying to get other people to use it? It just doesn't make any sense to me. So, question, is it like, do I have a need for some kind of software environment where it can help me learn? See, what happened is, as I was talking to these documents, eventually what it says is like, okay, so I'm gonna show you the 2-pane contextual chat block. It's over here on the left. And draft initial MVP vision statements, explore internal initial thoughts about vibe coding for 2-pane contextual chat block, discuss initial thoughts on the creator and reader UI UX for this block, address APIs. Okay, there's a lot of different things to talk about. I don't think we're going to get into that today. But the point is that I got to copy. Once you paste in these documents, then it's calibrated. So now this window is 100% calibrated to where we are currently in the project. And it has all these different thinking styles and all this background information about what we're trying to accomplish here. So it's important to save all of that data in your Notion page or in a Google Doc somewhere and have these documents ready to go. I did have some problems. So because you can. All right, item 1. Deep dive on the 2-pane context chat block. Agenda 47. So you know the Trump's Agenda 47. Maybe I could. So currently, what we're doing with Agenda 47 is I created this document. Oh, so I also speak Russian. There's this. So the video number 1. Hold on, I can show you where the video is. So this is the full transcript in English and Russian. And then if you click this X button, it's going to take you to this dude's video. And then you click play. USA, USA, and then you're gonna get the total transcript. So I sent this transcript to my student, and then I also used AI in order to create like a table of contents for the main ideas. For example, you got like economy and trade. Now in economy and trade, we got energy independence, dominance, inflation reduction, tax cuts, deregulation, trade deals and tariffs, manufacturing, supply chains, job creation, and economic growth, immigration, border. Then number 2 is immigration, border security. Number 3 is national security and foreign policy. Number 4 is law and order. Number 5, education and social issues. Number 6 is government integrity. Number 7 is healthcare. Number 8 is space exploration. So these are the topics that Trump covered in his 2024 announcement. In addition to this, there's like at least 31 more videos that go through this Agenda 47. And so my job here is to find the transcript and then create some table of contents. And then with this student, we talk about this stuff. We go through these policies step by step. That's like one of my hobbies, is to talk about national policy. So, and the question is, well, how can I get some kind of blog and AI to help me with the learning process? See, I got a Russian lesson today. Actually, I have 2 Russian lessons today, and I have 2 French lessons today. So, yeah, so this is the thing is, I want to create some kind of blog article today using AI, and I want it to have AI functionality so that when people, they look at my blog, then they're going to be able to read about this educational process, and they'll also have something, they'll be able to connect with AI in order to learn better. Right. So then on top of that, last night we also got the French project. So now you can see the French. Problem is that where's our chatbot? I don't see the chat. So we got this little chatbot down here. Hi. Je suis un assistant simple. Essayez de me poser des questions sur les exercices ou demander un indice pour une question spécifique. And then you say, really? And it says the same thing. So it's not connected with AI right now. And I also discovered that it's actually, the issue here is, look, see, if I get the screen big enough, then it turns into a sticky on the right-hand side. Now, I also I had a little chat with, this is actually, I think this is Architect. Yeah, this is AFB Architect. And we had a little chat about like, okay, so when I stretch out the window, can we do something? Oh, here. Now, how do we actually connect it to AI so that it can help us? That's the $1 million question. What do you mean it's the $1 million question? And it gets right at the heart of what we're trying to do, what we're trying to achieve with this platform. How to actually connect it to AI. We've got security challenges, We got back-end services. We got front-end services. We got AI's this. We got what it means for our platform, Sprint Zero. We got the API key credit model. We got the tech stack. We got the feasibility. So can we make this current HTML page truly intelligent right now without additional tooling? Like setting up a backend server with a powerful external API like GPT-4 or Gemini? No, not direct in any secure way from just the client-side HTML and JavaScript. What we can do with this page is next step, enhance the simulation. We can make the get AI response a bit smarter. So I'm still thinking about that. You know, where am I actually in this thinking process? All right, let's close this up. Oh, here we are. We're back here. Am I still sharing my screen? Nice. Sweet. Good news. Wow, I got a big audience today. All right. Cursor. Now, the good thing about where my project is with my little app that I'm trying to build is that I'm just doing a lot of copying and pasting. What's going on? Okay. All right. So we're trying to fix windsurf and cursor. So where am I at with this AI first blog idea? I would say that it's time to start creating some screens. Like you see how this screen, it's very obvious and clear what the work process is and what I'm trying to build. Well, I feel like it's time to start like drawing out some pages. If you kind of move back, you can see that so Tom, he sent me an email like 10 years ago practically about some of the main features about what the app needs to look like. Now I've made some changes to it, so this isn't necessarily what Tom was actually sending. But he sent some ideas, and then I looked at some templates of like what some like to-do list app look like and some project landing page looks like and some team messaging. I was thinking about the features of what this piece of software might look like, and then eventually I created what it might look like. Look at this. And then, and then another time I created this other prototype. It might look like this. And then another time I created this other. Here it is. Well, I'm not sure it's relevant right now. So what I'm thinking about this AI platform is that maybe it's time to actually design some screens, look at some workflow, start to think about what it might look like. I don't really know. It's just sometimes you get really excited for something. It's just a flash in the pan. And then sometimes it turns into something. The important part is to capture that flash in the pan. And that's why I recommend this calibration process, because like what happens if you got all excited the last couple of days with this Y Combinator comment, and you think, wow, that's really interesting. And wow, so there's something there. Wow, they issued this challenge. Wow, this is really cool. And then you start putting your ideas on a piece of paper. Maybe you start talking to ChatGPT or Gemini, and you're like, huh, that's really interesting. And then what? And then suddenly it's day 3 or day 4, and you're like, wow, today's Tuesday. Basically Tuesday is always my day off. And then you're making a video and you sound tired, and it's like, you don't sound excited as you used to be. And then maybe you start losing some motivation, and maybe it's like this problem is bigger or harder than I thought. Maybe you start getting emotional. You just kind of don't know what to do or say or think. You just don't feel so good anymore. And then the question is like, well, how do you windsurf? How do you get back on track? Well, I don't need to get back. What do you mean get back on track? Like, look at what I'm doing so I'm going to just close these windows so we can get focused and put this guy right in the middle of the screen. What do you mean get focused? I have all of my documents here. All the work that I did is right here. If I lost my access to Google Gemini, it's all right here. And this is the current step. Item 1. User, could you please identify and provide the specifics, concise excerpt from Agenda 47 material that you envision having as a source text for the left panel? Having concrete piece of text will help you ground it if you don't have. All right. You see the point? If you completely lose your way and you're completely confused about what is supposed to be happening, if you have calibration documents, then you can just copy and paste. All right, here it is. So here's the document. Now, am I really interested in creating an AI first blog? I don't know, not really. Like, it's a lot of work, and it's like outside the scope of the things that I'm focused on right now in my life. All right. Are you interested in creating some work process in order to help you to learn topics which you're interested in, for example, Agenda 47 or the French language? Yes. Could that eventually turn into something like a AI first blog platform? Yes. In fact, isn't it a necessary step for you to create something that is useful to you and then try to roll it out to a larger audience? Yeah. So you're back on track. Yeah, okay, I'm back on track. All right, well, let's plug in this audio. Share the right screen. Where is it? This one? Can we see it? No, oh, yeah. And then see if the audio will work.
Okay, user PM, thank you for providing the Agenda 47 material. This gives us a rich set of policy points to consider. For our initial, 2-pane contextual chat block, and keeping in mind our goal of rapid speed to tangible utility, working with this entire document in the left pane might be too broad for a focused interactive chat experience. As your process facilitator, I suggest we select a more specific, concise excerpt from this list to be the source text. This will allow us to more easily define targeted learning objectives, AI, persona, and interaction flow for this first block. Could you please review the sections you've provided and identify a particular subsection, e.g., 1. Economy and trade, or perhaps a few key bullet points from within one section like inflation reduction and energy independence, dominance. under economy and trade if they are closely related in your analysis for coaching. Or, alternatively, 2 to 3 closely related bullet points from different sections if they form a cohesive theme you'd like to explore for a specific coaching scenario. Which part of this Agenda 47 material would you like to use as the source text for our first 2-pane contextual chat block? I will document your selection here for our Sprint 0 records.
There. Now, so energy independent dominance, achieve America energy independence dominance, reverse Biden's energy policy, and the war on American energy. There. So now we need to create some kind of experience. Last thing I wanted to say just before, because I gotta go to another meeting right away, is I just want to share the whole screen for a second because I got this other windsurf window open. Where is it? I see. I need a new window. And then I'm going to open recent box 4. So I uploaded the HTML from that French project to box 4. I'm not sure. I just did it because I needed a copy just in case Gemini couldn't redo it or show me, to show me what's going on with that. But anyways. So it's my day off. I just wanted to kind of do an overall picture of a bunch of different things. And we'll catch you next time.